good soundtrack can set the tone for a film. A great soundtrack can set the tone for an entire era. This is the case for the soundtrack to the movie Singles, written by Cameron Crowe, the former Rolling Stone journalist who also wrote the book that inspired Fast Times at Ridgemont High and the movie Almost Famous. In 1992, the world was just finding out about grunge, and the movie Singles took us into the lives of people who lived it. When the movie came out in 1992, some of the biggest names in grunge had already broken through, but for every Nirvana, there were 3 screaming trees. Soundtrack was a who's who of grunge music, but also Seattle music royalty like Jimi Hendrix and the Wilson sisters. And not only were Pearl Jam and Chris Cornell featured on the soundtrack, they also had roles in the movie. And like the movie Almost Famous, there was an in-movie band that was good enough to stand alone. However, unlike Almost Famous, the band wasn't the actors, but the music was made by a real band, Mudhoney. The tonal theme of the movie was set by the first recordings of newly departed Replacements frontman Paul Westerberg in his first solo recordings since leaving the band. It also featured 2 songs from Pearl Jam and 1 from Mother Love Bone, who was Pearl Jam's predecessor with Andrew Wood instead of Eddie Vedder. Unfortunately, by this time, he had passed away. For the bigger fans of the movie and the soundtrack, there's also a deluxe edition with an additional 18 songs. The soundtrack for Singles made grunge accessible to the masses and went double platinum. It's a compendium of the best that Seattle has to offer, and this is the classic rock resume.